Okay, so the secondary hull had some chance to dry, and it's all set. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this aside for now, and we're going to work on the nacelles. Let's get to the nacelle parts. Part 4 of the instructions. Okay, so we'll put her aside for now. And we got the parts for the nacelles. You can see they started to put the chiller grills in, and they painted them blue. But we're going to remove that, and we're going to paint. And the way we did the deflector dish, we'll do the same with these. We'll paint them gray, and then I'll put the lines in. Alright, you can see the nacelles are ready to be painted. One of the ideas I was kicking around is that you can see how this part, the chiller grills fit perfectly. And I was thinking of using that as a mask with the putty. But I thought against it because the nature of the paint, and the paint we're going to use is thin. So I figured it would get in anyway, and I would have to redo them anyway. So I kind of 86'd that idea. So let's put this over here for now. And let's see, we're gonna put the nacelles together without gluing them, so we can paint them. I think that would be the easiest way to go about doing this. Let's say the trick is to get them together without actually snapping them into place. Just so we can, let's see, I'll use my painting tool, and we'll paint them that way. And once they're painted, then we can go about doing the detail. We'll put the aztecing on. See, this one is broken off. They're all broken off. Let me see if they'll go together. All right, the little pins are all broken off on this one. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to use a little bit of our friend, Mr. Duct Tape. And it should help keep the halves together so we can paint it. All right, let's put this right like that. See? And we'll put the halves where they're supposed to go. Just like that. And make sure that the tape is up against the inner wall. That way there, we can paint. All right, so they had a little bit of time to dry, and we'll put another coat. Okay, so they had another chance to dry. Let's move this one for a second. And Let's see. I think what I want to do is let's switch ends for the last coat like this. This one stays. This is the one we taped, remember? Okay, so they've had some time to dry. We can take them off the painting tools. They're all set. So, put that aside. And we'll put this one aside. There. Okay, so you can see the pieces. We got the two main halves. We got the inner chiller grills. We got the field coils. And we got the Bussard collectors. So let's get all the pieces ready. Here are the Bussard collectors, and what we'll do is we'll do the white line that's going to go down the middle. And we've got the little, let's take these apart. Okay, so they had overnight to dry, and I love how you can see the black coming through to make it look give it that distressed look. Really nice. Okay, so what we got to do with this is there are sections that the decal sheet is not going to cover. And that would be the areas that needed to be done in duck egg blue. And it looks like you can see right over there the inner part of this section around here. And the top, the Bussard collectors, they're going to be black with the white stripes. So we're going to need duck egg blue. We're going to need white. And what other colors are we going to? We're going to use black for the outer chiller grill. And then we'll be able to put the decal sheets on, all the aztecing. But before that, we have to do the painting. So let's start with the duck egg blue. Alright, not really able to see that. Okay, so that section is all set. There we are. You get both sides of that, so why don't we go ahead and put it on here. All right, so let that dry. And for now, that's everything for the duck egg blue. So we're all set with this for now. Let's see. We need the white so we can do the inside of the Bussard collector. See how you can get that nice little line without really worrying about making a mess? You know, it's interesting that this is the only Constellation ship, or the only version of the Enterprise where the Bussard collectors do not light up. Alright, so that's all set. These paint pens are awesome. And we can use the black to do these. And we're going to use gray to paint the chiller grills that are supposed to be blue. So let me go ahead and there. So these markers are really a great idea. We got the paint, we got the chiller grills, we got the duck egg blue, and we're going to be doing these in gray. So I got the gunship gray, because that's the lightest version of the gray that I have. And this is what we did the deflector dish with. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got that painted. We got the inner chiller grills painted, the outer chiller grills. We've got the duck egg blue on all the parts of the nacelles that we need. We got the Bussard collectors painted, and these are painted in copper. So what we're going to do now is we got to wait for all this to dry. Okay, so everything had a chance to dry. See the inner chiller grills. And like I said, let me show you guys what we did, because the deflector dish is blue as well. And what we did was we put it gray, and then we put a little bit of the scorching on it. And we're going to do the same thing for the nacelles. All right, let's think about putting them together now. You can see there's not too much in putting them together. So we're going to use the Plastruck Bondine. You guys that are looking to make this model, just remember when you put them on the inside, you can see the chiller grills, there's a gap. So if you're going to light it, you're probably going to have to use some putty and go along on the inside, just so you get the light block. But ours is not going to be lit. Okay, that's in. We'll go ahead and we'll put a little bit of the Plastruck Bondine around the edges to glue it in place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the outer part, which is this section, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the Bussard collector in. Glue the nacelle. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the glue into the little channels, or little posts. All right, let's glue the Bussard collectors in. Okay, so this one went together a little bit better. You can see the front where the duck egg blue is. This is going to be the outside chiller grill, and it's still a little tacky. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to let it dry completely before we even think about putting on the aztecing decals. Okay, so it has some time to dry. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to put in the pieces that go just behind the Bussard collectors. And we'll be ready to move on basically to the aztecing decals. So those are going to go in. All right, so we got those in. And we'll put just a tiny bit of glue, just to say that there's glue there. Okay, so you can see the outside of the port nacelle, the Bussard collector, got the duck egg blue, got everything in. So I think what we're ready to do now is we're ready to put the aztecing decals on. And again, we're going to need the micro set and micro saw. What I did was I put in some lukewarm water and I put a drop of the dishwashing liquid in. And then I just kind of stirred it with my finger. That way there, if you put the drop in first, it's going to foam up. All right, let's start getting the decals ready. Yeah. And let's see. Okay, so now we go to 101, and that's going to go. Okay, you can see the aztecing around the Bussard collector in the back of it. Underneath it, there. If you can see the aztecing that's going to the back. Alright, so it's probably a good idea to handle it with my tweezers. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see that in the back. And what we got to do now is we have to put the one on top. Is we're going to just soak it with the micro set. You guys, the micro set is going to help put everything in place. Okay guys, I don't know if you can tell, but we've got the decals on. Okay, let me give you a little bit of an update. We had to use our friend Mr. Superglue. That way there, we would make sure, even though it says snap kit, trying to get them to stay on was just horrible. What I probably should have done, and for next time, or for you guys watching, clip on the nacelles onto the secondary hull before doing the aztecing. You guys can see we've got those four. Alright, I think we're going to put them, we're just going to leave them all on here so we can get them all ready. can see when that's dry, she's really starting to meet her end. And what we'll do is we'll put these registry markings on, and we'll let them set overnight. They'll shrink wrap around the plastic, and then tomorrow we can do the paint gun, and we'll do the damage, and we'll see how she looks. All right, so let's see if these are ready to go on. And this is going to go right here. If you guys can see that. Just like that. All right, so we got those on. And let's go ahead and let's put a little bit of micro set on each house. Set with the micro set. We had painted the details. We painted the duck egg blue so they would match. And we got the registry markings on, and we just gave it a heavy coat. That's why it's dripping, of the micro set. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let it set overnight. All right, so you check it out. Everything had a nice chance to dry. All of the decal setting solution dried up. The microset kind of shrink wrapped the aztecing decals around the nacelles. And you can see they're distressed looking, which is a good thing, which is what we want. So what we're ready to do now is we're going to spray on the damage, and we're going to make the nacelles look like they did. First, after she encountered the U.S.S. Reliant, and then we're going to make it look like she did when she plunged into the atmosphere of Genesis. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so it had a little while to dry. You can see we've got the distressed nacelles, and you can see how we put some of the decals to make it look like part of the hull plating was peeling away and scorched. You can see the just enough. We put in the duck egg blue and the detail just enough so it would show and you know it's there. As she goes into her final flight. See the back or the side from the port side. See the back of the nacelle all damaged and distressed. And the way she's going to look when she's on screen is she turns after the primary hull blows apart. She turns and then she just kind of goes towards the atmosphere and she burns up in the atmosphere. Really sad. This is like I said, the more we advance on this model, the sadder it gets. This is really sad. When I saw the Enterprise blow apart, I was a kid in a movie theater and I just about had a heart attack. Tears welling up. I'm like, you can't do that, not to our Enterprise, but I want to think of a way to put like a plaque or something to commemorate her. You can see the Bussard collectors. We put a little bit of distressed scorching on it because those are going to get the brunt of the friction, all the parts in the front. So this, my friends, concludes the nacelles. So we got the secondary hull build. We've got the saucer pylon, we've got the nacelle pylons, and we got the nacelles all set. So the next video is really the one that's going to really bother me the most to do, is because we got to do the saucer section. And there's just about half of it that's going to be gone. So I thank you so much for watching, my friends, and I thank you for the kind comments. And until we start the saucer section, I'll talk to you very soon.